Open Your Eyes is brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.
Good morning and welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Start your morning right.
I'm April Martinez.
And I am Isana Kayat.
And good morning to you, Belize. Thank you so much for being with us early this lovely Monday morning. It's not matic.
Lovely indeed, lovely indeed.
It is. It's a great day. I thought the weather was nice after this hazardous heat of a weekend. The morning was pretty okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How was the weekend, Isani?
Oh, eventful.
It was eventful. You did more than the hammock?
Yes,
Okay.
certainly. We had a farewell for
Yes.
our colleague Stephen, who, has spent years, decades with us here at Channel 5.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty good
Yeah.
in terms of being able to, celebrate his career, his lengthy career with us here.
I recall when we were doing the flashback Fridays for the 30th anniversary. It was him and some other folks that were there from the get-go, from the very beginning. Their faces are in all of the pictures. But yes, it's not forever. It's not a goodbye or anything like that. You're moving on to your next step in your life, which is retirement. You enjoy it while you can.
A transition.
Right? A transition, if you
to less work or a different kind of work.
I was gonna say probably not. I don't know if you begin your life, your entire adult life, with your program to do all of these things every single day. Can you ever really at one point quit cold turkey and not?
I was having a conversation similar to what we're having here along these particular lines, where I've been working from I'm 16 years old.
Wow.
And I haven't really had a break. The one time that I had a break, I thought I was going crazy, because I'm so used to the routine of, being productive
All the time.
getting up, waking up in the morning, getting ready, go to work. You have something to do. There's a sense of purpose and function.
Do you have guilt? Like if you don't work, let's say you're on a vacation, and I'll put vacation very loosely, but in a vacation you're not doing anything. Do you feel like guilty that you're not doing something?
No. The only thing, because of my line of work, I always need to be in the know.
Yeah.
So even when I'm on vacation and I'm not completely turned off.
You ever turn off your phone? It's a legit,
Seldom.
like you ever turn off your
I
phone?
can't afford to.
You can't afford to turn off. That's interesting. We're talking about just media in general, but I can't even imagine other spaces, doctors, teachers, other frontline workers that have this in their heads. What would happen if one day you just, I'll turn off my phone today?
Sometimes it's necessary.
Yes.
Because to be able to reset, you need to be able to disconnect from certain things, and perhaps your device being one of them. But again, in my line of work, you never know when something can happen or will happen.
Yeah.
And so it's seldom that we take that risk of turning off the phones. Even at night, sometimes you get messages or calls, things are happening. So, yeah.
But as we talk about these events, and whenever we come here every Monday morning, we try to highlight all of the things that happen on the week during the weekend with our Eye on the News. And what better way to segue into our Monday morning's Eye on the News?
Abu, water. All right, so on Friday, we led our newscast with the decision that was handed down by the Supreme Court in respect of the Larry Gillett manslaughter trial. And so former police officer Karim Martinez has been found guilty of the manslaughter of young laddie Gillett. What is interesting about this decision is the fact that the justice reiterated in court what we already know, the kinds of conversations that we've already had with members of the Belize Police Department. Just last Monday, the Commissioner of Police sat where I am to have this discussion where training is necessary for police officers, not only at the recruitment level, but let's say there should be continued professional development as you go through your tenure as an officer. Why this is important? Because officers need to know how to engage with members of the public, the civilian public. And so the decision highlights the fact that there needs to be serious reform where training is concerned and where certain aspects of discipline, are also concerned. This, for me, is hinged or premised against the decision of the Supreme Court as well, the High Court, I should say, last week, where 3 former officers were given lengthy sentences for their role in the death of a bartender in San Pedro several years ago. And so it only serves to show us where we need to improve in terms of the police department. Again, it's also premised on the fact that DeAndre Chi was killed several weeks ago. Well, in that particular case, the officers involved have been charged with murder, right? So we'll see where that goes. But there are all of these incidents where officers run afoul of the law, the very law that they're sworn to protect and uphold, right? And so the laddie Gillett case, in this particular instance, we're all waiting now to see what sentence will be handed down to Karim Martinez, having been found guilty of manslaughter.
I believe his lawyer has stated that they will try to appeal his case, and that he is in strong belief that the investigation was still faulty, and that there was not enough investigation done by the police on the other officers that were there that night, and that they are solely going on the statements made by Mr. Palacio and the other officers. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. But Isani, I think that it's a testament to what everybody else was thinking, right? Everybody was. We've all been under this impression that nothing happens to those in authority when these issues occur. Nothing happens, they get a slap on the wrist and then they're released. In this particular instance, justice is served, and it's not just for Laddie Gillett, but now it's going to show that as a lawman, as somebody in authority, you will be tried just as fairly as everybody else.
In speaking with Attorney Dickie Bradley on Friday, he also mentioned that for the most part, the decisions handed down by Justice Moore are airtight. There's serious thought and consideration that goes into, and deliberation that goes into rendering these judgments. And in her case, she's known for being very thorough. And so the chances of a successful appeal, we'll see where that goes.
As you are a lawyer and you are hired to defend my right, and therefore that is what Attorney Salgado is doing on behalf of his client. But nevertheless, now when we're looking at, I even believe the young man that was locked in the van,
Yeah.
right? All of these other incidents that have occurred at the hands of police officers and those in authority will be looked at now at a microscope. And I think as a civilian, I feel better about it. And I know that it won't bring Laddie back, but it's going to do for others what it should have done for him, meaning that you're, as a police officer in training, as somebody that you are green to this new occupation, you're going to think more about it.
You also have to acknowledge and commend the effort that has been put forward in the wake of Laddie's tragic passing, where you have this movement being led by the family to either introduce new legislation that speaks to these kinds of incidents, and as well to keep his legacy alive. This was a young man who, for all intents and purposes, had everything in front of him as a teenager, right? We would say he hasn't even really seen life, so to speak, you know, and to have it taken away from you in a situation where you are fleeing from, you know, your pursuer, so to speak, and then you get cut down in that fashion. It's tough to deal with, you know. And then the thing about it is that while, yes, there has been a decision, as you rightly mentioned, it won't bring him back. The family still has to go through that process of grieving the loss and what have you, and then being able to pick up the pieces and moving forward. But indeed, the movement and everything it stands for is commendable.
Yeah. I'm curious now to see how they might implement Laddie's law into effect, and how they are going to now move into different strategy points of training.
Yeah.
And I've never been to the police academy. I don't know what takes place in the trainings, but as Compol rightfully mentioned, 6 months is not enough. And even so, when you are in training, and I have no idea how it goes, so if somebody knows, please tell me. But if you're in training and you're in that intensive mode, we were talking here about turning on and turning off certain productivity modes. That height intensity of you have to be alert and vigilant all the time. When you are conducting yourself in a domestic space or with average civilians that don't necessarily know that way of police academy life, how do you turn that off? How do you know when it's time to act and react? And I'm sure that's part of the training, but if you are new to it, how do you know? How do you feel it? How do you sense it?
You have emotional intelligence as one key factor, where you are in a situation and you need to know how to maneuver, how to be able to do so successfully, right? Effectively as well. And so a lot of it, beyond what you're taught in terms of the physical and the theoretical aspect of it, lies with you, the individual, in terms of how well you're able to either balance your emotional self or, you know, be able to be intuitive in certain scenarios where, you know, you have to be able to walk that thin line, so to speak.
Well, of course, as we talk more about these other cases surrounding officers that are on trial, we'll hopefully be seeing more cases like this have a correct verdict. And I have to say correct very loosely, right? Because you never know in certain cases.
Yeah. All right, so it's a brief eye on the news this morning, which we've come to the end of. All right, so certainly these stories and more you will be able to catch at 6 p.m. in our evening newscast. If you're not in front of our TV, that's okay. You can also catch us on Facebook and YouTube. That does it for this morning's Eye on the News.
It's an eventful weekend as it was in terms of the weather. Did you manage to go outside?
Well, I was outside the entire weekend.
So then you know that
hot.
the heat was
Yes,
on.
yes.
We have the folks in to tell us all about it. Good morning, Francisca.
Good morning. Good morning.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Well, it's not hot outside yet,
complaining.
so we're not complaining just yet. But is it going to continue being warm?
Yes, it will.
All right, give us a general situation this morning, Francisco.
So, we're in the dry season, so we have seasonably warm and dry conditions prevailing. And in the 24 forecast, sunny today, sunny and hot, I should say. Partly cloudy and warm tonight. We're not going to see much rain. There's a chance that we could see isolated thunderstorms over the Mara Mountains. That will be this afternoon into this evening.
All right, and our winds? Yeah.
Our winds out of the east at 5 to 15 knots, producing choppy seas.
That means our temperatures are going to be extremely high, aren't they?
That's right. So we're going for 8 to 9 along the coast this afternoon, 98 inland and 86 up in the Mara Mountains. So with those temperatures, we have issued a heat alert, and we're advising people, especially inland areas, to stay hydrated and avoid outdoor activities as much as possible. If you go out, you wear a hat, your sunshades, your umbrella.
All right, and our lows?
Okay, again, warm, 80 along the coast tonight, 74 inland, 68 up in the Maya Mountains.
And what about our extended forecast for Tuesday and Tuesday night?
We will be seeing similar weather conditions, so this trend is going for the next 24 to 48 hours.
Intense heat. All right, Francisca, you warned us. You gave us that heat warning. Are there other advisories, watches, or warnings to look out for?
Right. The fire forecast, the fire risk, of course, is very high at this time. That is for forest fires and bushfires, so please be careful. And, of course, the sargassum forecast, we're seeing small mats along our shores, especially over the south, and there's a low to medium chance that this might continue.
Well, there you have it. Thank you so much for that update. Stay cool, Francisca. Have a great day.
Thanks, and same to you.
All right, guys, there you have it. Please try your best to stay as hydrated and as cool as possible. It's going to be another hot day, so let's just be safe, right? But we have a packed show for you this morning, and we begin all with the discussion of lupus. We've been having various discussions about health, stroke, osteoporosis, and on our Monday morning show, we're going to be talking about lupus, and we'll particularly be having a discussion about this one particular patient who is fighting right now her battle with lupus. So that's going to be our first conversation this morning.
Our second conversation is with the director of the Institute of Creative Arts and the kitchen manager, and an actor. Let me get that correct, all right? So we'll be discussing Acting Intense, all right, with director Jamie Newball.
All right. And we'll be wrapping up our morning show with, we've been talking about agric, but we've not been talking about how it leads into that long weekend with Labor Day.
Yeah.
So we'll have the folks in from the BCCI, the NTUCB, and the ILO to talk to us all about Labor Day. So we're going to look out for that conversation in our final segment. But before we get into all of that and more, we'll take the break. We'll be back with our first conversation with Vicky Battles Lupus. Stay with us.
After a rough week of school, Jake and his friends decide to treat themselves to frozen coffee. And since they don't have cash on them, they decide to use eCash. With eCash's geolocation feature, Jake can easily find the nearest coffee spot. With eCash's built-in option to split bills, Jake can pay the bill and his friends can reimburse their portion of the bill. Jake scans the merchant's code and confirms payment. Jake then views his transaction history and taps on the transaction recently made, then taps the Split the Bill button where he selects the Evenly option to evenly split the bill. The application splits the bill automatically. His friends receive and accept the request. Geolocation and splitting the bill via eCash makes Jake enjoy his digital lifestyle.
Explore the great outdoors with Benny's Quality and Savings.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
From now on, when you visit Uno, you will experience an A+ power in all fuels. Dynamax has evolved into Dynamax Plus. The new formula with the ultimate technology and additives provides an A+ power and A+ performance. Dynamax Plus, available in diesel, regular and premium. Try it today and reach further. Uno, a different energy.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marion Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 police teams do whatever it takes, go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind-the-scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Do you have information about a crime or a fugitive in our community? You can submit a tip anonymously with your smartphone. Using this program in safeguarding our community also protects your identity, keeping you out of the court system, and could earn you a cash reward. Here is how it works. Download the free P3 Tips app from the Apple Store or Android Market. P3 is the provider of our secure anonymous tip collecting software. Open the app and create a PIN, but be sure to remember that number, then select your location. Next, select the type of crime. When submitting a tip, be as specific as possible. If you have a picture, video or audio that will help officers, you can upload them from your phone. Information leading to an arrest can earn you a cash reward of up to $1,000. Once your tip is submitted, you'll be given a tip ID and password. Check back if your tip leads to an arrest. You'll be told how much you were rewarded and how to anonymously collect your cash.
It's time that we realize that we must work together to thrive. As we know it, the sky and below it. Could I never have more wonder? Yeah, with life and all you see and the climate's changing, but hope is remaining. And we can't ignore the future. It depends on you and me. One chance, all that we got. One voice, together we stand. Take care, the world where we live. Permite a todos vivir. Tomamos la oportunidad para guardar la humanidad. And I must leave no one behind because we are. One climate, one Caribbean. One climate, one Caribbean.
And welcome back. Our first conversation, as we mentioned prior to the commercial break, is a discussion on lupus. Joining us in studio this morning, we have 14-year-old Vicky Samos. She is a patient dealing with lupus. Good morning, Vicky.
Good morning.
We also have her parents, Diego Samos and Yarheli Samos, with us as well. Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And of course, we're joined by Dr. Natasha Gongora, who's Vicky's doctor. Good morning once again, all. Let's talk about this particular journey, dealing with Vicky's health condition, and of course, everything that you guys have invested in trying as best as possible to keep her healthy and safe. Let's begin first with you, Vicky, to share with us what you've been going through and how you've been able to cope with this health condition.
So at first, when I was diagnosed with lupus and kidney failure, it was hard for me because I didn't expect at such young age I would be experiencing things like this. So I did get drained down a little bit, but I tried to take it all calm. I didn't panic. I knew that I would get better, but yes, it was hard for me. I'm feeling good right now at the moment, but before all of this, I wasn't that good.
When were you diagnosed?
On January.
This year?
This year, January.
Dr. Gongora, can you share with us, for our audience that might not be aware, what lupus does to the body? And first, for a young patient like Vicky, what was happening with her?
Yes, well, I work at Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital, and I met Vicky on a weekend. The day I met her, she was pale as paper. That's one of the signs that can indicate lupus, severe anemia, severe bleeding, arthritis, skin lesions. She didn't have the typical symptoms of lupus, but we had to investigate because we had to find out why she had kidney failure. At 14 years of age, she's my youngest patient on dialysis at the moment. So we had to find out why. We even had to do the kidney biopsy for her. And then at the end of the day, that's how we got her diagnosis, with a kidney biopsy. And lupus is a disease that requires multiple exams. It has its clinical symptoms, but it also requires certain blood tests that have to be sent out. Her family has gotten support, and they have managed to do all the tests necessary. We've gotten support from the World Pediatric as well. So that's how we managed to do her kidney biopsy at the hospital. She's a strong patient. At a very young age, she managed to go through a lot of complications of the disease. So lupus really has multiple signs. It's not only one thing, it's many things they can have, and we only confirm it with certain blood tests.
And in terms of what it does to the body, what are the signs that you are officially diagnosed?
Lupus is an autoimmune disease. The body starts attacking itself, attacks certain organs, and in her case specifically, it's directly to her kidneys. But lupus also attacks the vessels, the heart, skin, eyes, the liver, other organs, gastrointestinal as well. So really, I can't tell you this. If you have this and this, you have lupus. No, it's a whole. We have to approach the patient holistically, completely, because it also can affect the brain as well. Patients can arrive seizuring due to lupus as well. So there are extremes of symptoms the patients can have, but I do recommend anyone who has a family history of any autoimmune disease, if their parents, grandparents, aunts, siblings have a history of arthritis, a history of phospholipid syndrome, a history of lupus, if someone in the family has that and they're experiencing certain symptoms, then they should go see a doctor.
Let's get the parents in on the conversation at this point. How have you guys been dealing with this particular condition that your daughter is afflicted with, and the home situation and school and so forth?
Well, everything has changed. Everything has changed from the moment she was diagnosed, that we took her to the hospital. Yes, it has been extremely hard for us. In terms of mentally, it has drained us mentally. To see our only daughter, because she's our only child, suffering so much. Yeah, but she has been very strong. Financially, it has been the worstest moment in our lives. Yes, but we have good support from family members, friends, doctors, everyone. So we are trying.
This is just fairly early in, right? Because if the diagnosis was made in January, and it has been a few months, so to speak, it's a life-changing situation that you guys are faced with as parents. I could only imagine the thoughts or the emotions that ran through you guys when the diagnosis came back that your daughter has lupus. What was that like for you?
It was devastating, yes. Because when we took her the same night, when the nurses saw the urine tests and the blood tests, and so they told us that something is extremely wrong with our daughter. Because when we took her, it was just like a normal checkup, because she was vomiting and so forth, right? And the doctor from Regent Street, I think it's Medical Associates, they told us to take her directly to emergency. And when we arrived there, and that's when they told us that it is a grave situation.
How has this affected your school life in terms of being able to, be the kid you once were several months or a year ago prior to this diagnosis?
Well, I had to stop school for a while. I missed like 3 months of school. This week, Monday, last week, Monday, I mean. Last week, Monday, I went back to school, but I missed school a lot, and right now I have to catch up with the schoolwork, a lot of schoolwork, but I'm trying not to stress a lot since I suffer for high blood pressure. Yes, but my teachers and principal overall are very supportive. Yes.
How do you balance, well, you just started, but what gave you that courage to say, I want to go back and live my life as normal as possible?
Well, not because I am sick, I will let myself down. I am normal, so
Yeah.
I want to live my life as normal as it can be.
Dr. Gongora, is this a situation where perhaps not enough is being done to raise awareness or highlight the fact that there are many others out there who are afflicted with lupus and perhaps aren't getting the kind of attention drawn to this disease as any other medical condition?
Yes, definitely. Like Vicky said, well said, that we want our patients to be able to live a normal life. Even though they do have lupus or any autoimmune disease, that's the goal for anyone, for the quality of life of the patient. Yes, it is financially burdening on the patients, so that's where we are coming up short for many of our patients, because the medication that she requires, all her antihypertensive medication, her autoimmune medication, some of them aren't available here in Belize, and we have to send for them abroad, or we get donations. She isn't the only case. We have so many patients on so many medications. And lupus itself, any autoimmune disease, is very difficult to diagnose here in Belize because we don't have a rheumatologist here in Belize. We have she's going abroad in Mexico to get the follow-up she requires. So we don't have the human resources in Belize at the moment, but we do have internists, myself, who work together to try to treat these patients, especially if they already have kidney complications. So there isn't enough labs that can run these blood tests here in Belize. And in Vicky's case, who is already on dialysis, she gets support from the government, but she requires 3 dialysis per week.
Wow.
And that's for every patient who has chronic kidney disease. They require 3. There is a government program that helps them with 2 sessions per week, but unfortunately that's not the best for our patients. And patients can't afford the 3rd session. So it's not enough. Even though it's something that the government is doing their best, I hope, to help everyone, but for us medically, we're seeing that doing just 2 sessions a week isn't good for the patients in the long run for their high risk of cardiovascular comorbidities. So like Vicky said, she has high blood pressure and she's 14 years old. There are other patients who have high blood pressure, diabetes, other comorbidities, have had strokes, have had heart attacks, being on dialysis because they only do 2 sessions. So it's really a call for attention for the ministry to try to help our patients because they are young. Every day they are getting younger. And these are patients who want to go back to work, want to go back to school. So it's an investment that we have to do for our workforce, for our young generation, to know that the Ministry of Health and Wellness is doing something for them if they ever do get sick, because you want to be able to go back to your normal life.
Is it that in Vicky's case, she has to do dialysis for the rest of her life?
Yes.
Wow.
What Vicky requires is a kidney transplant. All dialysis patients need transplant because dialysis is only a bridge towards a kidney transplant. Everywhere in the world, that's how we treat chronic kidney disease. So we do have a small transplant team at KHMH. We are working to find a perfect candidate who would be a good donor and a good match for Vicky. Her father would like to donate, which is perfect. We have to run tests that, again, we have to send abroad. So there is that possibility, but we need follow-up, we need assistance, help from anywhere so that we ensure that Vicky gets the medication after the transplant. Why? Because just like she needs medication to control the lupus right now, she will require it after. Because the kidney, once she gets the new kidney, her body can attack it as well. So she needs to be very controlled. We need to work, it's a team. It's not only one doctor that she will have multiple doctors. And the goal is to make sure that her body does not reject it. And that's the case in any other patient who gets a kidney transplant. It's not just removing a kidney and putting it in, and that's it. It's a follow-up, it's a blood test that needs to be done, it's a medication, because minimum 3 medications she will require to keep the kidney working, the new kidney.
We're talking about lupus as a disease in Belize. We don't really have the conversation, as Annie rightfully mentioned, there's not a lot of awareness. Do you see many patients that have this disease and it's only treated, right? There is no direct cure for it.
No, lupus there isn't a cure, but we can control it with medication. There isn't enough awareness. Like we said, some patients don't know that their relative had arthritis, and then just having a relative with some kind of autoimmune disease, you're prone to it. So if you have an aunt, an uncle, a sibling, anyone who has any kind of autoimmune, I do recommend you do your checkups. Your checkups, blood tests, urine tests. The awareness we do with the Kidney Association, for example, is directed for kidney patients, but there are multiple causes of kidney disease, and lupus being one of them, one of the rare causes.
We're talking about this disease and trying to spread awareness, but of course you as your family need to be able to support her in making sure that you pay all the medical bills. Let's talk about the financial struggles of this and how you are planning to continue to raise funds to support your daughter.
We're trying to do a lot of fundraisings. For instance, we had a barbecue sale this Saturday that went by, and it was successful. We had the help of many people, so it was very successful. So we plan to continue doing other fundraising events so we can manage to have the best treatment for her.
Does dealing with Vicky's condition take away from your ability to work and do the normal things that you would do in terms of providing for the family?
Definitely. I have to miss a lot of work. For instance, when we go over to Chedomal to see the different specialists, sometimes it's a weekend we have to go and miss work. Sometimes during the week I have to see the different doctors so they can explain stuff to me, you know. Yes, so, but the business place has been supportive where I work.
Vicky, how do you feel about your dad being willing to provide you his kidney if he is a match?
I feel happy and good because it's my father that is willing to give me his kidney. And that is true love of a parent. And I feel good.
When Dr. Gongaran, and I want to ask this in terms of anybody that's listening, and can anybody donate or can anybody run a test to see if they're a match?
Well, we have to do a very complete examination of whoever wants to donate. One of the contraindications is if the patient is obese, the patient has diabetes, high blood pressure, a history of cancer, the patient has any autoimmune disease, they're automatically not a candidate. The ideal thing would be as long as they're blood group match to start with, and they don't have any of those, then we can start the process of doing the rest of the exams. We just have to rule out. Anyone can donate if they are active physically, eat well, no history of high blood pressure, their urine is clean, meaning they don't take out proteins in the urine. So it's really a set of blood tests, but anyone can donate if they're willing and they're over 18, then yes, they can donate.
What are the chances that a relative, and not necessarily just the father, but a relative would be a match?
It's high. We recommend all living donor transplant recipients receive a kidney from a living member. there is the option all over the world as well of brain dead patients whose relatives do authorize them to donate different organs. But in her case, we would require, and best scenario would be a living donor, relative. So,
where you have your shirts that say raising awareness and so forth. Most of the time, when we're thinking about kidney failure and patients on dialysis, a lot of the assumption is this is it, right? But for Vicky's case, who is still a young person, still being able to fight this disease, what are the measures that we take in her case? How do we continue to fight her disease? How do we continue to provide treatment and so forth to ensure that she goes on, like she says, she's a normal girl, to continue into her adult life?
Well, she's doing great. She's taking her medication. Her family has been very supportive. They have all their medication organized, time and everything. So we do need help with getting her those medications. If we have anyone out there who would like to donate medication to her or funds, they can reach out to the parents. The fundraising, we support them at the hospital. We've supported them in any fundraising they do. So I do recommend that anyone who would like to help. You know, she is a young patient. Like I said, she's our youngest patient in dialysis at the moment. And dialysis is only a bridge to the kidney transplant. It really should, that's the goal. The goal for her is to get it, and we'll take care of it afterwards. What else can we do for her? We can find help with the World Pediatric. They've been helping a lot in her case. We wish there would be more for other patients as well. I know there are younger patients, there are young patients out there, but she's the one that we've managed to catch, like right now, early diagnosis and treating her.
Let's go back a bit to the academic part of this, Vicky. How has the school that you attend, in terms of its administration and the teachers, how has the school worked with you in terms of your situation?
Well, they reached out to me as soon as they got to know what was happening. My principal overall have been very supportive. They raised funds for me at school. My classmates donated. And like this Saturday at the barbecue sale, my classmates bought barbecue from my parents too. Yes, and everyone have been very, very supportive. Yes.
How do you feel with with like your assignments? And I guess that's one of the questions I had in terms of making sure that you have your work done and making sure that you're happy and healthy at the same time.
Well, when I got back on Monday, I was completely lost because they already teach the topics. So when I got back, I didn't know anything. But the teacher said to just go and try to learn. But I've been reaching out with some of my friends, and we have been working together. Yes.
You're in first farm, right?
No, second
farm.
Yes.
And you go to St. Catherine?
St. Catherine Academy.
When we're talking about continuing moving on and the support of your friends, what is that conversation like? How do you talk about lupus and your condition to your friends?
Well, I try to explain to them because they don't know what exactly it is. So I try my best to explain what I am going through at the moment.
What do they say?
They just get sad because, you know, they didn't expect me to be in such a situation.
Let's get a bit from you, Yarheli. To hear from you as a mother, how you've been dealing with this as well, along with Vicky.
Well, it's hard, but I try my best every day, make she get her food on time, because she's on a strictly diet from veggies and everything, and just be that she's feeling good, and you know, So, and then I have to be with her at the hospital when she go on dialysis, and just have to get ready everything, her stuff, because she have to eat before I go. So, try.
So it's become like a full-time job for you
Yes.
to be at her side.
Yes, actually I was doing babysit a baby before, but I have to stop because I have to have more time with her right now, and then, you know.
How do you prepare? And I guess this is a question for you all at home. How do you prepare for your day when you have to take your treatment and then go do your dialysis?
We always prepare from the night before.
Okay.
Every night we take out her medications. We have a chart.
Yes.
Even at our fridge, we have a chart from 6 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock, almost every hour, with her different medications that she needs to take. We try to buy all her vegetables, her fruits,
yes.
because she's like how my wife said, she's on a strict diet. She cannot eat certain foods or vegetables with sodium, high in phosphorus, and high in potassium. Yes, because the dialysis do take out some of the toxins.
Yeah.
Because I have done a research and reading also, right? And the doctor has explained out everything to us as best as she can. And yes, so the machine doesn't take out all the different, like the potassium, and that can stay in her body, and that can cause more complications to her, you know? So we have to. So when I even learned this, before I handle it, every time I go to the supermarket, I always take out a different and read the nutritional facts on it.
Exactly what she's eating, like
So she can,
she could eat, you know.
yes. Even certain vegetables like or fruits like banana, she cannot because it's high in potassium. Yes.
It's interesting that you would say that, Diego, because those are some of the things that we take for granted.
Yes.
When we go to the store and purchase groceries and what have you, we're not reading the labels to see what the items or whatever are made of. We just know that we need this, we pick it up, put it in the bag, and then we go about our business. But this kind of a situation forces you now to have to be as careful as possible and understanding exactly what it is that she's consuming.
Exactly.
Vicky, when it came to this particular part of changing your lifestyle, what's the thing that you would miss probably the most when it comes to your change in diet?
My diet.
Yeah.
Because I used to eat a lot of fried chicken, pizza, and tacos, but now I cannot eat those things. But the doctors explained that I can still eat, but once a month. But in my case, I prefer not to eat it because I want to be healthy. So I do not eat a lot of those things. I try to eat mostly my veggies, and I'm used to it.
No,
So no, there's no guilty pleasure, no guilty.
No.
Not even once a month.
No. Even the three of us do the diet with her. We eat the same thing that she eats. We do eat at home.
So that gets you healthier as well, Diego.
Even the fluid intake, she cannot drink a lot of fluids because it can accumulate in the body, right?
Yeah.
And, so she has to.
Measure the water.
Yes.
We have to measure the water. How Dr. Gongar told us how, you know.
Her urine, we have to measure her.
Measure her urine.
How much urine during 24 hours.
Okay.
How much water she's drinking. We do take her blood pressure. We even had someone, or one of our family members gave us a machine to check her.
Check her pressure.
Yes.
At home.
So a lot of things have changed at home.
Yeah.
And now that we're talking about Vicky's fight, her battle against lupus, and making sure that you all have the necessary finances in place, there have been donations that have come in, right? And of course, you all have done your own fundraising as well. Before we talk about your fundraising events and your sponsors and those that have donated, we will have one particular entity that has donated some financial support to Vicky and her family. But before we have them on set, we'll take a very, very short break. and we will be back to talk more about Vicky's fight against lupus. Stay with us.
Technology is ubiquitous, and it's transforming how, when, and where we work. Fulltech Systems is placing award-winning devices in the hands of information workers, allowing them to work without compromise in a world without wires, to innovate, create, and to maximize productivity anytime, anywhere. Satisfying the needs of the desk-centric remote and field worker and every other worker in between. We are providing the industry's best devices to businesses going through the process of digital transformation. Partner with us today to provide the solutions that will allow your employees to work effectively and efficiently to enhance your customers' experience. Fulltech Systems, your technology center, where you'll come for the price, but stay for the service.
Whether you are getting ready for school or the office, or to work on a construction site, there is one common factor. Great days start by looking your best. From the moment you start to button your shirt, strap your boots, or straighten your badge, every detail of your uniform was sourced with you in mind. At Tropicana Store, we pride ourselves in providing the highest quality, most durable uniform brands. Our collection includes 100% cotton or dry fit, wrinkle-free, smart crease, and machine washable options. Your uniform is a reflection of you, and you deserve to look your best. Visit Tropicana Store today and see for yourself the high quality that only we can provide. Your uniform, your identity, your choice. Only at Tropicana Store.
My Social Security is your secure online account to manage all your Social Security information. My Social Security launched in March 2021 with registration service to apply online for new or replacement Social Security cards. Upgrades to My Social Security continues with a new look, enhanced customer experience, and its newest feature, Sickness Benefit Online application. With My Social Security, you can create your account, log in, and take control of your Social Security information. This includes applying for a new or replacement Social Security card for yourself, child, or dependent. Make appointments online and submit your complete sickness benefit claim package. Our customer care team is here to provide you, our valued customers, with real-time support. Connect with one of our customer care agents through direct messages on WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, or live chat, or follow our YouTube channel for more information. Social Security at your fingertips. My Social Security.
And we're back talking all about lupus and, of course, Vicky's battle against lupus. And as we had mentioned before a quick break, we wanted to discuss some support and how we are managing to assist the family with the finances in dealing with lupus and Vicky's medical treatment. Joining us on set, we have Melissa Ball, who is the owner of Smoked, and Alicia Castillo, who is the kitchen manager of Smoked. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies.
So I understand that you all have assisted the family greatly in handing over some funds and, with her medical treatment and so forth. How did you all hear about Vicky's case?
We were just sitting on our veranda, I think last week, Sunday, as we usually do. And my husband came across the, I think it was one of the news that posted it. And he was like, oh, we're doing a fundraiser next week, Sunday. And that was it.
It didn't take much.
Yeah.
So what was the effort that went into the fundraiser and, of course, being able to then take the proceeds and hand over to the Summers family?
It was, I would say, fairly easy. We had a great support. We have a good support system. A lot of our suppliers were like, came in and said, okay, well, we're donating this, we're giving you a discount on that. And a lot of people messaged Andrew and was like, okay, we want to donate, we want to do something. And a lot of that came in through our business page too as well. So we had the support to do the fundraiser, and our staff jumped on it and they were like, yes, we're willing to give up this Sunday to do something like this. So
what was the fundraiser?
In terms of?
What did you all do?
Oh, the same thing that we normally have on our menu, or burgers or wings, the fries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's just to get people to come in and buy, and of course all proceedings went to
yes.
Vicky and their family. Can I ask how much was raised?
A total of 1,100.
1,100. Wonderful. And
it goes a long way.
It does go a long way. So in terms of receiving these funds, Mr. Samos, how do you intend to use it now?
Everything is going into our bank account, every single penny that we receive, so we can use it for her treatment and to seek more medical attention.
How do you feel knowing that an entity that didn't know you, didn't know your daughter, decided to pull all of their staff together to raise funds?
It is overwhelming. I felt great, yes.
What would you ask of anyone that's watching this show right now and would want to be able to assist you guys as well? Because I gather that perhaps not everyone participated in the fundraiser, but seeing this and hearing this would want to reach out to you guys to assist.
Yes, well, actually we have posted her situation, and also we have her account at Atlantic Bank. So if anyone is willing to donate, they can always do so. We have also this gentleman from Ladyville Highlights, Mr. Magdaleno Albert. Wonderful guy, a wonderful guy. He has, he's the one that, that highlighted us. Yes, and
he's like your heaven sent in
yes,
terms of being able to shed light.
So anyone can also reach him, and he will come back to us and
one of our viewers has posted that the Lupus and the RA Association of Belize has joined the cause to help.
Definitely, yes. Miss Anna Cortez from the Kidney Association, she has been from the very beginning. She has been with us, and her team also. We have Miss Liz, Miss Ruby. They were very supportive of us on Saturday for the barbecue. Also, the Lupus Association, Ms. Segura and I forgot the other person's name. Yes.
It's okay.
And they have been very, very supportive.
And of course,
it's Arlette Gomez.
It's Arlette
Gomez.
Yes.
Yes. She's the one that has. They are very supportive of us, showing helping us, with different stuff.
Yeah.
And if anybody would like to see if they're an eligible candidate for donation to Vicky, and a kidney donation to Vicky, you can always check with Dr. Conger.
Yes.
In terms of what we all plan to do now after this, now that we've assisted Vicky, are there any other plans in the future for more fundraisers?
It's definitely a possibility. I think for Andrew, he's a little bit more, I would say, sentimental. So when he goes through he sees different stuff on Facebook, he's the one to more okay, we want to help here, or we want to do this. So definitely a possibility, yes.
It makes you guys as well good corporate citizens. You know,
Thank
like
you.
many times people get into business and they're profitable, but they don't seek to help
Yeah.
the very people who are, you know, making them successful by,
Yeah.
by you know, purchasing or
Yeah.
doing business with them.
And you know, yesterday after we were finished, we were leaving, and this one guy, he came to buy, and we were already finished. It was like 5:30 in the evening, and he was like, no more burgers. We're like, no, sorry, we're already closed for today. And he like, I appreciate the effort, guys. Thank you so much. And it was actually, you get that sense of fulfillment knowing that you're putting in your part as well. So
It's a
that was
sense of
good.
purpose. Right?
Yeah.
Nice.
And if anybody would like, I know that you had the bank account number up there, but if anybody would like to get in touch with you to see how they can assist Vicky, how can they?
I can always be, I work at Habit and Habit, so people can see me there, or they can contact me through my phone number. Yes.
Is that the number on the screen?
Yes, that's one of them. Also 626-4851. Yes.
Vicky, I have to tell you, this is you're a strong girl to even come on this TV show to talk about your struggles with your medical health, and I feel like it's going to be a great result after this, and I wish you the very best of luck for you and your family.
Thank you.
We see you as like we admire your courage. You're so brave and
a warrior.
Definitely.
When we went there yesterday to them, and she didn't know who she would meet, right? She was, because she's also very shy. I'm quite surprised how she's expressing herself. Yes, and when she saw, it's your son, right?
My daughter and my little brother.
A little brother, yes,
Yeah.
it was a classmate
With her
from
St.
St. Joseph. Yes, and she got all nervous. And
Yes, because they came out to give their assistance as well. So they were helping out with this.
I'm very thankful for, you know, for them and everyone, because we have different people who did also another
fundraisers. Any final words, ladies?
Just we wish you the best of luck. We'll continue following your story, and we just wish you all the best, because we know that also your wife also is battling her own illness
she
as
has
well.
antiphospholipid syndrome. It's something similar like lupus, an autoimmune disease also.
Wow, it's a very heavy segment, but I give you my kudos for coming on to discuss with our viewers, and hopefully you can get more assistance after this. So thank you guys so much for coming in this morning. Thank you ladies so much for coming in, and of course thank you for giving your overwhelming support to Vicky. And of course, as we've mentioned before, if you would like to give your support, you can always contact Mr. Diego to see how you're able to assist in any way you can. We'll take the break, and we will be back with the Institute of Creative Arts, and to see all about acting intensely. Not really sure what that's about, but they'll tell us.
We'll find out.
We'll find out when we come back.
Environmentally degradable plastics, or EDP, are plastics that are affected by a combination of environmental conditions that cause the plastic to break down within an acceptable time frame. They are specifically designed to degrade into carbon dioxide, water, and other biomass substances. The level of breakdown can vary based on standard test methods appropriate to the plastic. Click on the link below to see what you can do to help end the nightmare of single-use plastics. I'm Alison Castillo, and now you know.
With eCash, bill payment is extremely convenient, and all utility companies accept eCash payments. What's even better? You get to split bills with your roommates, siblings, or whoever you desire. Simply open your eCash app, go to Bill Pay, tap the respective utility company, Enter the information and pay the bill. Then tap the transaction made. Tap split the bill. Select evenly. Send the request to who you are splitting the bill with and get notified when they pay. Talk about making life easy and avoiding confusion. You can split the bill for restaurants, grocery stores, and for any eCash payment you make. To find your next yummy meal, hair treatment, or chill spot, simply open the app and utilize the geolocation service to see nearby businesses that accept eCash. Geolocation and bill payment make life a whole lot easier.
Galenia Hospital, located in Cancun, Mexico's premier tourism destination, is a state-of-the-art healthcare facility that provides highly specialized medical services. We are Quintana Roo's biggest private hospital with board-certified doctors and staff. Some of our services include Cath Lab, Adult Intensive Care Unit, Neonatal Intensive Care Unit, emergency rooms, operating theaters, ambulance services, and more. We are a medically accredited hospital by JCI, Accreditation Canada International, and General Health Council, providing extraordinary care in every specialty, from our cardiology department to our neurology center. We are focused on treating the entire person, body, mind, and spirit. Contact us at medicaltourism@hospitalgalenia.com or visit our website at www.hospitalgalenia.com. Come to Galenia Hospital in Cancun for a truly personal medical care experience.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
Smart introduces Real Unlimited Postpaid Plans, providing customers with unlimited talk, unlimited text, and unlimited data. Now that's a real great deal. With Smart Plus, Share 1 and 2, and Enterprise 1 and 2 plans, you can talk as much as you want, text as much as you want, and for the first time ever in Belize, you can enjoy unlimited data with your postpaid plan. So come in and sign up for an unlimited postpaid plan and enjoy limitless possibilities. In addition, other plans such as the Flex Junior, Choice, and Select have been boosted with a lot more talk, text, and data, providing you with the best value for your budget. Be unlimited with Smart. It's time to power your dollar with Smart.
And we are back. Joining us for our second conversation, it's all about acting intensively. Yes,
yeah, acting intensive.
Active intensive. And joining us, we have none other than Director of the Institute of Creative Arts, Ms. Kim Vasquez. And she's brought with us a guest, an actor and director, Jaime Newball. Good morning.
Morning.
Active intensively.
Well, the active intensive is about, is the way how the workshop going to work.
Okay.
Because the name of the workshop is actor, casting, and callback.
Okay.
So this is like my fourth time around here. I love Belize. Thank you very much to invite me to Belize. And in this case, well, we're going to have 2 or 3 weeks of workshop where I will give some instruments, some tools, how you can able to do from the casting, how you can prepare, how you do to prepare a casting. Because sometimes everybody have the talent, everybody have the opportunity, you know, it's just that you don't understand the language, or maybe you don't understand that you have to do another type of preparation when you want to act in front of camera. So basically, this is what we want to do during these weeks. It's very practical. So from the day one, that the people that going to be in the workshop going to understand how to read the script, how to get information about the script, how to create the character that the director, the casting director is looking for. And well, if you do a good job, then you have the opportunity to be called in the production and be part of what's going on.
Kim, how do you see Belize's theater culture progressing? Because here we have this renowned coach that is giving you these tips on how to be in front of a camera. Do we have persons that want to be in front of a camera? And I mean that in the most, given this particular job itself, you know, the fear of the camera, the lights, and so forth. Do we have like a new transition in Belize where people actually are flogging to have this kind of training?
I believe so.
Yeah.
And I believe that more should see the opportunity. You don't need to have any experience to take this training. But you know, we have productions coming in on a weekly basis. Sometimes we don't hear about them, right? But they're coming in on a weekly basis of different sizes, right? And some of them are documentary work, but a number of them are actually movies of different sizes, and you know, they're oftentimes looking to cast extras or even cast actors, not only extras. So that's one area of opportunity. But we also have, there's also a number of, you know, sometimes you would see advertising companies put out casting call, looking for so and so. And you know, that's an excellent opportunity for people to jump on, but I think sometimes we hesitate because, as you said, it's the fear of the camera. And you know, we all at some point in time, I think in our culture in Belize, we don't have a thriving theater culture at this time. But that's a goal, that's something we can work on. But because of things like Festival of Arts and our own school culture, whereby we incorporate the arts a lot across the curriculum, we all at some point in time from primary school up to secondary experience acting. And so I think we have the talent pool, and what this workshop will do is, yes, you will end up at that stage where you can you know, be ready to answer the casting call. But Jaime, this is what, your fourth time?
Yes.
Fourth time visiting Belize. And each time he is willing to work with people where they are and to adjust for the needs of those that have registered for the workshops. So if it is that you are needing, or we have, for example, we have a group in Belmopan that have already said, you know, we are rebuilding our theater company and we want to focus a little bit more on stage, on acting for stage. That's totally fine, and he can adjust to work with them there, right? Because we need strengthening in the art form in general. We need to develop this skill in Belize.
Does this workshop entail differentiating acting in TVs, movies, and series versus acting in theater, commercial?
It's totally different, from the base. I would just like to adjust a little bit from what Kim says. I think we have to understand that after the pandemic and everything, the way of looking at TVs, the way of looking at movies have changed, you know, because now the audience have the control. You know, you have all these platforms, and it's a big war that's going on. You know, you have Netflix, you have Prime, you have Amazon, you have this one, and you have the other one.
So cable is all but obsolete.
but that gives us new opportunity if we can reach them, or if we can able to prepare ourselves to go and look for them. You know, that what she just says is you're always going to have someone that's going to do a documentary or want to do a serial or anything. So opportunities, there are opportunities. In my personal case, for example, I come from Panama. I'm doing all my career is in Panama, but I was very comfortable. I was very they call me to do something on stage, or they call me to do something for movies, and I didn't think about the opportunity to go and knock other people's doors. No, it was like in 2019 that I decided to go and start to do casting in Colombia. And I've been doing things out and doing things all, trying to build up more my curriculum international. So I know the experience. I know what it is, and that's the reason why I start to do these workshops, because I like to invite actors, actresses, and talent with potential. It's very open, because the tools that I try to give you is how to get in front of the camera, how to prepare casting, how to win the casting, because it's not just, I did it and no. If I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it so I can able to win it.
How did you get involved with acting in the first place, and how has your career taken shape?
It was a desire from I was small. After I went and saw a play, and I don't know, it's the magic that always happens. You like the lights, you like the costume, you like the songs, the dance and everything. And at that moment, in my family, it was more traditional things, So I didn't have the support at that time. But when I get older, and my university, they had like a theater group. And I decided, and I said, it's time. So I just went in, and from my start, I haven't stopped. So it's just getting better.
That is true. We've known Jaime since 2011. I know him even when he was at the Ministry of Culture in Panama.
Yes.
Oh, wow. He was like their version of Niche. He was a culture officer.
Wow.
But he was also involved with something called Proyecto Lagartija, right? Which is the lizard, which is the symbol of the lizard. Because the way how this acting movement was operating was that, if you chop off the tail of a lizard, it goes back. So every time they would have their convention and they go and they meet for workshops in the region, a different country would host it, the idea was that whoever went, go back to their country and replicate that workshop. So that was a really fantastic thing, and Belize was very much a part of that. We have Miss Beverly Swayze in Belmopan from Capital Culture Theatre Company. And we have Florencia Castillo up in Orange Walk, who works closely with the Banquitas House of Culture. Both of them, and Miss Myrna Manzanares as well, God rest her soul, on behalf of the Belize Theatre Company, who were very much involved in Proyecto Lagartija. And so, I can remember it was one of my earliest projects at Niche when I encountered Jaime for the first time, and it was about stage acting, really, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you were still very much involved in theater, but then starting to get some acting roles. And each time he has come, his resume, his experience has grown. Right?
So then give us a tip, Jaime. What's the...
No tips. You have to come to the workshop so I can able to work with you.
So in terms of seeking out, because you say you seek out and you cast, right? That person that perhaps has the raw talent but maybe needs to fine tune, right? What are you looking for?
Well, just people that have the will, that want to learn, and to be open to understand that this is a language, this is a way of language, totally different from the stage language. You have to understand it. And you have to practice so you can able to take away all your fears and all your, your weakness, and able to transform all that in potential, in talent. So that would be basically what I would look for.
Right.
Just enjoy.
So it's 3 weeks of intense training. so to
Yes.
speak.
And is there like a topic for every single week, every single day?
We're going to do a lot of exercise.
Okay.
Besides casting exercise. And whenever you go and do a casting, you have to understand. I'll give you a little tip, just to understand. When you have the opportunity to go to a casting, the director don't going to give you the whole script.
Right.
They're just going to give you this scene. So most of the time you have to try and understand what's going on there, try to get as much closer to the idea what the director have in mind. Because if I have a casting today and I have like 30 person that wait for I don't want to have 30 per time to, okay, this is the story of the girl who went out from the country.
Yeah.
So there's information in the script or the piece of paper that they're going to give you, but you have to learn to understand and check everything that they're giving to you so you can able to work that and transform that and give your essence and your little magic. So when you get in front of the camera, you can able to, convince the director and says, you know what, I think she's the one that I'm looking for.
Kim, does this kind of activity or these sessions generate much public interest?
Well, it varies, and what we're trying to do this time is to really focus and market to the students, right? And we've reached out to UB, and in general, what we're trying to do is to create this opportunity, as I said, for students that want to take this up, right?
Yeah.
But that's not to say that older people at the age of 60, 70 cannot take an acting workshop. Anyone can take an acting workshop. Anyone can get into acting at any age, right? But yes, we are pleased to say that we do have interest from, and I noticed that it's a mix. There are people already involved with acting, and then there are others that are just, I think, saying that they want to get this training, and that we're looking forward to seeing, what is it that they're looking to obtain and take away from this training here.
So the training begins, it's $45 for fees. And is there an age limit?
16 on to 100 years if you want to.
Yes.
There is a discounted rate, as I said, for students and teachers as well. And we are looking at Belize City and Belmopan primarily. We have it split. It's again, we're working with everyone's schedule. We realize that many people do have things that they have to get done in the day, and so the sessions are available in the evening time as well as on the Saturdays for longer sessions. Okay, so I mean, if we have closed registration officially, but as of today, if anybody still wants the opportunity, you just have to call us at the Blaze at 227-2110. Just reach out to us or reach out to us on our social media page, and I'm sure that they can still take advantage of the opportunity.
And the trainings are here at the Blaze?
They're at the Blaze and in Belmopan at UB. Yes.
Wonderful. Well, Kim, Jaime, final words for our aspiring actors as we close our segment this morning.
You go first.
Well, thank you, Belize, once again for the opportunity to be here and share a little bit of my knowledge. I know that you are going to have a good time, so please call the Blaze and we have space for you all.
I just want to take the opportunity to thank Jaime for taking the time out of his very busy schedule. I don't know, this year he says he is just booked from one project to the next.
Wow.
And we've been trying to work with his schedule, with our schedule for at least 9 months. 10 months we've been discussing this. And we're super excited to have him here in Belize. Again, prior to this, he was here in 2017.
Wow.
And he was able to partake in the Belize International Film Festival at that time. And so, like I said, he's no stranger to Belize. He's a friend of ours, and you know, really easy to work with, and we encourage everyone to take advantage of the opportunity. Have an interest in acting and want to learn more about this skill, pick up the phone and give us a call.
Wonderful. Jaime, Kim, thank you both so much for coming
Thank you
in.
very much.
Best of luck, and anybody that wants to be an actor or even have the slightest possibility of interest, call Kim. We'll take the break. We'll be back to talk about Labor Day, and we'll have the folks in to tell us what they're doing for that day. Stay with us.
Sign up for Smart Share Plan and save big. Whether you're a small entrepreneur starting up your business, a student on a limited budget, or a family trying to save, this is the plan for you. With unlimited SMS, calls, and data, we help you save. Get up to 5 lines for as low as $30 per line monthly, only with Smart. Sign up today at any Smart showroom or sales manager countrywide. So get your business going, share more memories with friends, and be ready for the day with Smart.
Your life just got a lot less complicated with Belize Bank Contactless MasterCard Debit Card. Introducing our Standard Debit and MasterCard Platinum Debit Cards. Now you can make purchases anywhere MasterCard is accepted with one tap, pay and go. Your contactless card never has to leave your hands, especially in these times. And your card is embedded with multiple layers of security. Platinum card holders get to enjoy extra benefits like price protection, purchase protection, trip inconvenience, and luggage protection, just to name a few. Start enjoying a cashless lifestyle today with the Belize Bank.
Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo Messi! What an incredible strike from Leo Messi! Neymar and Messi is standing over this. Messi! Off goal! What a goal from Leo
Great
Messi!
entertainment stays with you, and we bring you great entertainment. Next Gen, the ultimate digital experience.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marian Ali, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. Go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 Belize on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Because news is now everywhere, all the time. And so are we.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
And we'll be back in a few, so stay tuned. Thanks, Jen. Hey there, we know you have to head out to work shortly, but don't forget that you can stay tuned by watching us on our Facebook live stream. Find us at Open Your Eyes BC, and you can continue watching there. You can also download Facebook Watch on your streaming device, and you can watch at your own convenience.
And for all the behind the scenes fun, follow us on Instagram at OYE Belize. So,
find us
and follow us
today.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And welcome back. Our final conversation this morning, we have our friends from the Labor Department. We have Labor Officer Marcel Theos, good morning. And of course, her colleague, Rudy Ake. Good morning, guys. Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yes. It's a public and bank holiday, and everybody anxiously
appreciates the
awaits the end of the end of April, right? But there's more to it than just the public and bank and the day off.
Yes.
Let's begin by talking about the significance of Labor Day, what it means for persons who are in the workforce.
Well, Labor Day is, of course, falling on a Monday, which is a good thing. It's a time and a half day also. So if you work on that day, you will receive time and a half. But because we are the Labor Department, under our ministry, that's a very important day for us. We all celebrate Labor Day. As labor officers, this is our time when we try to make aware to all employers, employee, and the general public, and our stakeholders that this is the time to get the labor education for your workforce.
Yeah. Just to elaborate on Ms. Marcel, you know, people see as Labor Day as a regular day, but there's a meaning behind it. It's to celebrate workers. You know, we know them as employees, staff, workers, but they're laborers in general. So that day is to celebrate them. Just as how we celebrate Children's Day, Women's Day, and hopefully maybe Men's Day, right? But we also celebrate, we have to. So, but we also celebrate laborers, right? And that is where the Labor Day comes into effect.
Yeah.
Right?
Why is this important for us to highlight laborers?
Well, like how Ms. Diaz said, people are not aware that they're before. Let's go way back. Before, probably before I was born, when there were people who were fighting for labor rights. Unions, they got involved and they started to promote all of that. And so that is what came stemming up to it, that people are fighting for their rights way before. And so that has been coming on to now. And so we still celebrate that. It's a movement from the unions, and so we still celebrate it to show that laborers, workers in general, still have those rights, right? And they're looked at.
How often? Because every now and again you hear people have certain complaints about either their working situation with their employer or matters that have to do with labor. How often do you get people coming in with complaints? I ask because a lot of times people complain, but they don't go to Labor Department to actually file a complaint.
Yeah. So we have a solution for that, because a lot of people have complaints, but the job that they're on might not have the time when we are open, because we are 8 to 5 also.
Yeah.
So especially in the Belize City especially, we open during the lunch so that we can have people come in.
Yeah.
Every day is a challenge when it comes to labor. At least 5 to 10 people will have a problem. The problem with labor is that money is behind labor.
Yeah.
And once money is behind labor on all aspects, on the employer side, on the worker side, money is the issue. And there are issues that, the challenges, I should say, that we will always face in labor as labor officers is that we can only give you advice on what the labor law says. And many times, as you say, people come in and they give us their personal problems, which is not a part of the labor law, on both sides. And we have to use the labor law to voice or to fix their advice. It might not be nice, might be what they want to hear.
Yeah.
And there are some people who will be smart enough and they will call all the labor office in all the districts to get different results. The problem with that is that when you give me one question, I will give you the interpretation for that. But then when you call another center, then you change your question. So then you're going to get another answer for that. And so they said, nobody at labor knows what they're saying. No, that's not it. You change your questions. So the officer have to answer the question. And that's the issue that most of the time we will have in the workforce management in Belize.
How well do civilians understand the Labor Act?
It's quite challenging.
Yeah.
It's like how Miss Theo said, they're going to call all over to get the answer that they want.
Right.
Even though they might know what the labor says, but it's not what they want to hear. So they're going to call everyone, tweak their question a little bit to say, oh, well, that officer said so and so, so that is what. But we stick to what the law says. So whatever question they ask, we try to answer it as best as we could based on what the labor law says.
Let me get this correct. You give advice, again, depending on what is in the legislation, right?
Yeah.
When people approach you guys and say, okay, you know what, I believe I may have been wrongfully terminated, or perhaps my employer is asking me to work additional hours beyond what is prescribed under the law. It's only advice. You guys don't interface with the employer or the company to see what the issue is?
Yes, we do, and that is where inspections comes in. We, of course, everything is confidential and everything is anonymous. So if someone comes in and say, you know what, I'm working at a company, this is what is happening, we don't go and say, oh, Mr. So-and-so said. We go in, we'll do a routine inspection, but at the same time, we're looking for certain information. And if we do find out whatever the person was saying, then we try to correct it with the employer.
Yeah.
Right?
Remember, for us, our phones don't have caller IDs. And so people think that we know who called. So when they call, the receptionist might ask their names, but that name is not given to us. And we don't go searching for the names. So we give our advice and based on what they say. Now, if they say there's something seriously happening at that workplace, as what Mr. Rudy said, we go in a little bit later, because if that person is asking, take for example, you are asking about my vacation over and over, and then it's not you and your employer is not making it, it's not solving, but then you give us a call. If I go in right away,
they'll know that it's
of
you.
course they'll know it's you. So I usually tell them, just give them time. Let us go in and we do a inspection, which is very confidential. All the records from the employer is very confidential. And then we try to hear both sides. Now, what we did at Labor is to make all this not even hard for anyone. We have built a website, which is complaints.labor.gov.bz, and you can do that on your phone, on your computer. You don't have to come into Labor. And then we pick it up. So Labor is about 90% digital, Rudy? Only
most of our systems are online now.
Correct. Only the inspection we have to go out. In person. Because even the labor education that we do, we can do it on MS Teams. Sometimes we are doing labor education for people all the way in France who wants to invest in Belize. So they want to know. So what we always ask workers to do is to call the labor department for your advice. Never go to your neighbor or to your spouse or to your brother for advice, because everybody is a labor officer out there. Until you get into trouble, then you come to the labor department, then we have to fix the problem. And then it's unfixable.
What happens, and I want to get into the activities for Labor Day, but when we're talking about what happens when the Labor Department comes in, does their investigations and so forth, you know, Belize is a very small country. A lot of the organizations and companies are small, and the chances of somebody not being petty because somebody gonna complain the labor are very high, you know, so when you try to get back results to see if it's better or the organization or the company is working better, do you do follow-ups after?
Of course.
Yes, we do, and we also do labor educations. If we found out that there's a problem there, then we go in and do labor education. Then we educate the entire staff, right?
They need to know their
They need to know their rights. So it's not only for one person, but it's for everyone
everybody.
as well.
So I know May 1st is the holiday, so please take your holidays. I know we will.
It's gonna be a long weekend.
But of course, the Labor Department will be celebrating it afterwards. So let's talk about the activities lineup and the theme for this year's Labor Day.
So from January, we hit the ground. First, we start with labor training for the labor officers that we do every year is mediation. And these mediation trainings are very high. We actually do it with UA. So we know what to do when we go into an employer's workplace. We will do a lot of labor education. These labor educations are very important for both sides. It's for you to know your rights on both sides. So we offer the employer to call and get our information. We are our phone numbers are on the website, and you can give us a call. We book an appointment. We come in, and we will do all these labor educations for anyone that asks for labor education. Even if you have 2 people, we will do that. So on May 5th, we will have an open day, and that will showcase exactly what we all do in labor. People don't understand. People think that we only listen to advice and complaints, but labor does the employment online, temporary employment. So when you go to those concerts, those people have to do their work permit for one day. And if a whole band of 50 is coming, you know the labor officer has to do all that. Then we have our complaints online, and many other, our website, our Facebook. You can go to on Facebook. Even that you can go and do your complaints. So all these activities, all our colleagues from Corozal all the way to PG and San Pedro, we will showcase and show exactly what we do all day. Right? Also, we are committee members for many committees. And so we sit on committee also, and we give advice on the committee when it comes to the labor force. So what we do with our activities is to try to make sure that our activities from January comes up into labor, into May, and beyond May, all the way past public service in June, until the end of June. And then we continue on as we go on. No? Nothing changes really. The activities are just to make awareness for all workers. Give us a call. Get your advice here first before you go out and get your advice.
It's not for the Labor Department. It's for everybody else.
Everyone, yes.
Yes, it's for everyone.
And there are 10 offices countrywide, so that same day, all offices will have their open day.
Okay. And I can just come in and get the information.
Yes, so we'll provide information on all the services that we offer. We'll have pamphlets and everything, so anyone can come in. If you don't want to speak to the officer, you can just take a pamphlet, or you can come in and visit the office afterwards.
Learn the law.
Yeah, well, the thing is, while you're advertising the various services that you have to offer to the public, it's incumbent upon the public, members of the public, to understand the law.
Yes.
Right? Because, a lot of times, I'm certain that you guys get complaints that are I don't want to say ridiculous, but strange, like you know, because it reflects that the person may not fully understand what the situation is involving the law, and then they come to you for some kind of relief.
Correct. It's human beings that we are dealing with. As I said, it's money. If you short me a day's pay, it hurts. It hurts my pocket. Remember, I have my family. And so we try to make both sides understand. And that's what we do. We do a lot of mediation. Even in our labor sessions that we have mediations. Like sometimes we have to break right into mediations because the employer is in there and the representative from the labor. But you remember, we have Belize is growing with job placement. It's a strange thing. Belize is growing. There's a lot of BPOs, a lot of people investing. So many. There are so much more that will open this year alone. Most of them want to be in Belize City because this is where the international airport is.
Plus it's the commercial center.
Yes. But we only have 440,000 people in this country. That's another thing. And many of that are rural areas. So a lot of people have to travel into Belize to find jobs. And the BPOs have a different industry. And so when people call us, the first thing we say is know your industry. If you're going to be a waitress, know that industry. If you're going to be a tour guide, know that industry. That's the most important thing.
In terms of what we can look out for on the websites and so on, where can they go? I know you have the complaints, but there's another website.
Yes, our website, well, we don't want to brag, but I think our website is really the best in ministry. Yeah, I should.
Yes,
flip
you should flip it.
It is the best in the ministry. It's ruraltransformation.gov.bz. When you go in there, rural is in there. We are also part of local government, so we have local government information also. But in there, we actually have frequently asked questions that you can ask before you even call a labor officer. We also have our pictures and our phone numbers.
So you can see who you're speaking to. And our numbers, so if in case if you feel that you don't want to call a certain office because they might have some, the employer might know, you can call any other office.
It removes the biases from the,
Yes, because if I am in Belize City, and I will go all over Belize City. But if you feel uncomfortable, then you can call Belmopan. But sometimes I was transferred to Belmopan, so you call Belmopan because we are all transferable labor officers. That's the reason why for us to know each industry. But in that website, we have everything. You can touch any one of the topics there. We deal with child labor also, and that's one of the areas that we are really pushing. We are trying our best to eradicate that. And then we have our HIV in the workplace policy that we work with each companies for them to make their own policy.
That was recently launched, correct?
Yes.
Like earlier this year or something.
Yes, in February and March, I was a part of that. Yes.
Okay. Well, Mr. Ake, May 5th is the open day for everyone to come in and see the activities.
May 1st is the holiday.
May 1st is the holiday.
May 1st is the holiday.
May 1st is the holiday, we have to take it. And
Enjoy
then May 5th is the open day.
Remember, not everybody gets a holiday, but we will have it. But not all industry.
Those who don't get a holiday get time and a half.
Time and a half.
Right, so make sure you collect your time and a half.
Yeah, they make money.
Right. Thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you for having us here.
And I assure you that everybody will enjoy.
And we await to see the public countrywide.
We'll take the break. We'll be back to wrap up. Stay with us.
Dwayne Moody, Isani Cayetano, Marion Alley, Paul Lopez. Your News 5 Belize teams do whatever it takes. go wherever they need to go, so you can catch the story wherever you are, whenever you want, on whatever device. Channel 5 believes on television, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, because news is now everywhere, all the time, and so are we.
Are you looking for low-cost television advertising? Have we got a deal for you? Advertise on Channel 5's Daily Classifieds. Channel 5's Daily Classifieds is one of the most effective methods for introducing yourself and your business to the community. Use our Daily Classifieds to recruit employees, promote specials, promote your products or services, promote a business opportunity, increase traffic to your website, and advertise items you have for sale. Let us help you to save valuable time and money. Call us today at 280-0013 or visit us at our offices on Coney Drive to discuss how we can help your business grow affordably. Channel 5 Daily Classifieds. Advertise today.
Whether you're at home, on the road, at work, or at school, if you see news happening or suspect that something might be up, call or text the Channel 5 News Belize tip line at 672-5555. You don't have to give us your name, just give us the tip. That's 672-5555. Call or text us so we can check it out.
When someone you love becomes a memory, the memory becomes a treasure. Channel 5 introduces the Daily Obituaries. The Daily Obituaries will broadcast all death and funeral announcements and memorials to honor your loved one's life and memories. The Daily Obituaries airs on Channel 5 prior to the evening newscast, with subsequent repeats at 10 p.m. and 12 noon the following day. It will also be placed online on our social media platforms, all for a standard package fee. Celebrate their lives and memories with Channel 5's Daily Obituaries. Honor in life and reverence in death.
And welcome back. Wrapping up our Monday morning show, we had 3 wonderful segments today, beginning with Vicky battles lupus. We learned that it is a very painful treatment to go through with lupus in terms of what it does to the body. It is a disease that the body basically fights within itself.
Autoimmune disease.
Autoimmune disease. And what do you do when your body begins to work against you and not for you? And so, of course, we had Vicky Samos along with her parents, her doctor, and of course some donors that provided some funding to assist her with her medical expenses. And if you would like to assist in any kind of way, you can also get in contact with her father and their family to see how you can assist. But it was a wonderful conversation this morning.
Yeah. And our second one was with Kim Vasquez and Jaime Newball.
Yes.
For persons who are interested in learning casting and participating in
acting intensive.
Yes. All of that is going to be put together in a 3-week workshop that is being hosted by the Institute of Creative Arts.
Wonderful. And our final conversation was talking about Labor Day. I know we all think of it as just a holiday that we all take, but of course there is significant meaning towards why we celebrate the day. And of course we had the folks in from the Labor Department to talk to us about their open day, which will take place on May 5th, for you to learn your labor laws so that you can assist yourself in any workplace and any workspace. So we had 3 wonderful conversations that wrapped up our Monday morning. I don't see a birthday shout out, but I do have a birthday shout out. And I want to say happy belated birthday to a good friend of ours, Joshua Arana. He celebrated his birthday on, I don't want to say Friday or Saturday, but you could correct me, Josh. But happy birthday to you. I hope you had a wonderful day on Friday. And I want to also say happy birthday to a friend of the show, Amy Zamora. happy birthday to you, Ames. Hope you have a wonderful day today. If you have a birthday shout out or just a question or comment, you can drop us a line right here at oye@channel5belize.com. You can catch our live stream every day on Facebook at Open Your Eyes BZ and all of our highlights on Instagram at OYE Belize. And of course, you can tune in again tomorrow when you open your eyes
to start your morning right.
Be sure to keep your eyes, your minds,
and your hearts open.
Have a great day, Belize. Remember, today is going to be extremely hot. Drink your water, stay in the shade, be cool, be healthy. Have a great day, Belize.
Open Your Eyes was brought to you by the Belize Bank. Our country, your bank.